Hello, it's Vladimir. Today is 15th day of my commitment. I want to work on my grammar, and today I want to make a special exercise, which is kind of unusual because I don't practice it often. I tried it first time half a year ago, and I didn't try it in a way which I'm gonna do it right now. Back in the days, I was walking in the street, and I tried to think in English, and I decided that I want to improve my grammar. And at that moment, I realized that one amazing, powerful thing that I can do is just to speak with perfect grammar. But there was a problem. When I speak, I don't have enough time to think. And it leads to mistakes. I can't think clearly. I'm trying to express my thought. Thoughts are usually faster than speech. And I make mistakes while focusing on my thoughts instead of my words. So at that moment, I decided to focus on my words and pay attention to grammar only. After 30 minutes of maintaining the perfect speech, which didn't make a lot of sense, but it was grammatically perfect, I realized that it helps me to build patterns in my brain, which then, if I practiced enough, are going to work automatically at any time when I speak. However, later I abandoned this technique since, for me, what I was thinking were more important than how I did that. And now I see that there are many problems with my English. I can speak very fast, but oftentimes people don't understand what I'm talking about. And they don't understand it because, first of all, I not pay attention to my grammar. I don't pay attention to words which I use, and also I speak very fast. Maybe there's some problem with pronunciation as well. I'm not sure, but now I want to work on this technique. And the whole idea is that I don't care about time. I don't care too much about content. I only care about perfect grammar. Whatever I'm going to say must be correct. There should be perfect grammar. And if it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't matter. I may just repeat certain words which I learned recently, or I may talk about my experience, or I may just use a kind of self-motivation speech and just persuade myself to speak clearly, to learn how to speak clearly. It's very difficult since I feel kind of unnatural I must make pauses all the time, but in the same time, it gives me confidence, since I know that I have as much time as I need to prepare before saying something else. Usually I feel awkward and embarrassed when in a conversation I don't know what to say. That's why I can make fool of myself. I can speak without thinking. I can make mistakes just to fill this empty space. And now I believe that this technique is gonna help me to be confident while I am talking. I tried to use this technique yesterday, and it was extremely powerful in terms of applying my vocabulary, which I didn't use before. I realized that first of all, it helps me to avoid filler words. It helps me to avoid inconsistency in my speech. And also, I use words like however. I don't usually use this word in speech. But yesterday, as soon as I had maybe a few extra seconds before saying what I wanted to say, instead of saying bad, bad, not bad, bad, I said however. And it was so striking, since I realized, man, I didn't use the word however for I don't know how long time, maybe for several months in my speech. In writing, I use it quite often, but in my speech, I almost never say however. And here, I was talking about something, and there was a pause, and I wanted to start a new sentence, and I wanted to say but instead of but, I said however, because I had a few seconds to think. And then I started thinking about it more, and new words, which I didn't use usually in my speech, started coming to my mind. And I was able to use these words. And then I made up this technique. Well, I did this before, but I never did it in front of the camera. I never tried to dedicate the whole speech to this technique. And now this is the first speech which I dedicate to this technique. So basically what's going on? I focus on every individual word, and I use these pauses between words for thinking. It reminds me the way how people study reading in schools. It looks as if I'm trying to read a text, not looking at words, but looking at syllables. I focus or even looking at each individual letter. in my speech, I am aware that I can speak fast, and I know that when I have a conversation, I can see whether or not somebody else understands me or not. Whether or not somebody else understands me. Well, it's not 100% perfect. Still, I have some mistakes. But anyway, in a conversation, I can see it. And I'm trying to be fast and to relate to what's going on in the conversation. But now, I use this exercise to learn how to avoid mistakes. The danger of this exercise may be that I'll learn to speak that all the time, and instead of being fluent with few mistakes, I'll be perfect, but nobody is gonna listen me since it's unnatural and boring. I know how boring it is when I just pause at any word and think before saying next word. And nonetheless, I need to practice this technique because it helps me to make my grammar better. And now for me, grammar and pronunciation are probably most important things which I want to master. I already know English well. I may think in English all the time. I have read around 40 books, and I watched, I guess, hundreds of hours of different courses on YouTube, and I wrote for about 1,000 pages in my diary and countless articles in social networks, but still I have problems with my pronunciation and with my grammar in speech because it's fast and I can't avoid making mistakes which I learned before. And I think this exercise helps me to build new patterns which I can later apply in real conversations. So I shouldn't use this way of speaking and thinking in a conversation. But when I'm alone, when I practice English in my head, in my thinking, I guess I can use it most of the time, just to make sure that I don't allow myself to make mistakes. Okay, what's time? It's 14 minutes. Man, it was so slow, but in the same time, I didn't notice the time. I have a feeling as if I were talking just for few minutes. And I won't ask you to notice my mistakes if you watch this video. It may be really helpful. And one of the members of Speaking Club, Vitalina, today I found your comment where you said that I make a mistake pronouncing the word 1,000. It sounds like 1,000. I didn't notice it when I pronounced 1,000, but probably it was. Well, I'm not gonna justify it. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on it, and every time I guess in the future, whenever I say the word 1,000, I will be more focused on pronunciation. And yeah, it's really helpful. So if you watch my videos and if you see that I make mistakes in grammar or in pronunciation, for me it's really important that you write and tell me about my mistakes. It's gonna help a lot. I guess I will do this exercise tomorrow, day after tomorrow. I guess I even may dedicate the whole this, self-talk, the 10-15 minutes, the whole commitment to just practicing on this exercise and making my grammar perfect. So that's it for today. See you next time. Bye bye. Subscribe to my channel, write comments, click the like button, share this video with your friends. That's all.